Ladies and gentlemen, the day has finally came. You feel me? We are officially here. We are officially on to the next documentary. Now, after I finished the documentary of Larry Bird and Magic Johnson, y'all wanted me to check out this Dream Team documentary. So I said, yeah. At first, we were going to react to the Last Dance documentary, but I believe somebody actually commented and put a documentary that was solely Michael Jordan. So we are going to check that out, and then we can do the Last Dance. Because the Last Dance, y'all already know, bro. We were all home during quarantine. We all watched it. But I'm going to be real with y'all, bro. That was like a 4-part series. We definitely going to have to rewatch that. Especially for my MJ fans. You know what I'm saying? But today, we got the Dream Team documentary. Now, like I did with the Magic and Larry documentary, this is going to be a 3-part series. I'm super excited, man. I'm super excited. Like I said, this is another educational video. Homework being done, as always. Let's get straight to it, man. If you're new, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Turn on post notifications to be notified whenever I post a new video, man. The NBA season is on the way. I know a lot of y'all OGs don't be in tune with the NBA today because y'all don't like the way teams play. Y'all don't like the defense and all that. But I would really appreciate it if you guys stuck around for my NBA reactions this season, because I am turning the fuck up. We got so many good teams, man. I'm super excited for this NBA season. You know what I'm saying? I'll be talking about cash shit too. You know what I'm saying? But let's check this thing out, man. Oh, man. Dream Team.
Why do people talk about dreams so much in sports?
And I ain't gonna lie, I really do hope I'm reacting to the right dream, the right documentary. Because I couldn't find this nowhere on the internet, y'all. The only place you can find this is YouTube, and it's this video. So I really hope this is the right, you know what I'm saying, documentary.
Dream seasons. Dream matchups. Dream opportunities. They do it because so much of sports is about imagining what you want things to be like. If only the setting were just right.
It was one of those times none of us will ever forget.
David Robinson, Charles Barkley.
I don't know anything about Angola, but Angola's in trouble.
The time just right.
11 Hall of Famers. I don't think you can ever do that again at no point in time.
The GOAT.
If only it could all be the way you might have dreamed it up yourself.
Oh, you feel me? Yep.
We don't bang with Karl Malone over here, man. He's on some weirdo shit, man. We don't bang with him over here. We don't. That sounds crazy considering what he did, but we don't fuck with him over here. We don't. I'm trying to stop cursing y'all, but we don't rock with Karl Malone over here. No.
That was the most exhilarating 15 seconds of my life.
People perceived us as being superheroes.
Larry.
Please, Michael Jordan.
No Isaiah
Thomas question.
Cool.
We became a team, and that team just stomped on.
As being
Whoa!
superheroes.
Please, Michael Jordan.
No Isaiah Thomas
Thomas question.
Cool.
Oh, you can tell he angry. Let's get negative then. Yeah. These jerseys had so much aura to them too, bro, with the champion on the side, man. Like, these jerseys are so hard, bro.
We became a team, and that team just stomped on everybody.
This never happened in sports. Nowhere.
Well, I figured eventually there'd be a movie made about the Dream Team.
This group may well be the greatest team ever assembled in the history of team sports.
Dream Team. Let's get it.
God bless you, and God bless America.
20 years can go by pretty fast, and the world isn't gonna stop and wait for you to remember what it used to look like. 1992 was a time of change. New faces in America quickly transforming into cultural icons.
Will Smith.
None more so than the superstars of the NBA.
The Bulls have repeated. Let the party begin.
After the legends of the 80s had lifted the league's profile to new heights.
Yup. We just seen it.
A fresh crop of players had blown the lid off.
Barkley on the way?
Here's Hewitt.
Robinson. Yeah.
Their talents and their charisma made them more than just basketball players.
I am not a role model.
They were a new kind of star athlete whose popularity transcended the game.
These ads used to be so fire. Like
shoes. No, Mom.
And now the very best of them awaited their brightest showcase, the world's largest athletic stage, the Olympic Games in Barcelona, Spain, even if no one truly realized the impact they would make there.
It's a watershed moment in the history of sports, not just the Olympics, not just basketball. It moved the culture along.
But in 1992, not everyone was ready for them.
Damn, Wilbon still looked the same. Like,
not just bad.
He still looked the same in 2025, bro. He don't black. His black don't crack at all. At all. He's still, bro. This literally looks like it was filmed yesterday. For him, that's crazy.
Basketball. It moved the culture along.
But in 1992, not everyone was ready for them. Not everyone thought pro basketball stars had a place in the Olympics.
Mullen,
this kind of thing had
Warriors
never,
legend,
ever been done. So there was a lot of, poking the bear, if you will, by people in my profession. Sports journalists and journalists in general were skeptical, angry, because this wasn't the Olympic movement.
The Olympic ideal had always been about amateur competition, which meant the United States had always sent basketball teams made up of college kids. Teams that dominated for decades. In 1972, the Soviet Union was awarded a victory over the U.S. in a controversial gold medal game.
The United States apparently had won the game, but the debate still goes on.
To this day, that American team still hasn't claimed their silver medals. But that result seemed like a fluke when the Americans got the gold in their next two Olympic appearances.
U.S. has its 9th gold medal.
While the U.S. celebrated, though, the rest of the world was catching up. So in 1988, when the Soviets won again, there was no talk of any fluke.
The United States goes home with a semifinal loss to the bigger, more experienced USSR team.
I was embarrassed. I know some of the guys left their medals there in the room. They didn't want to take them home. And here we are, USA on our chest, and we didn't get the job done.
But the amateur ideal had gotten muddled. While NBA players were prohibited from Olympic competition, professionals from other leagues abroad could play.
If you played in Europe for money, you were an amateur, but if you played in the NBA for money, you were a professional. And so our players weren't eligible.
Those other countries were using pros, playing against 18, 19-year-old kids. That is really unfair.
Changing the hypocrisy, though, was a central goal of a European named Boris Stankovic, the head of FIBA, the World Basketball Federation.
He was very much intent on lifting basketball up to the highest possible level of international sports. And if the whole world knew that the very best players in the world were not participating in the Olympics, that made it a second-class event.
So in 1989, Stankovic issued a resolution to allow pros from all leagues to compete in the Olympics.
Hey, shout out to him.
But back in America, the NBA was lukewarm to the idea.
We wanted to be good partners with FIBA to grow the sport of basketball, but we weren't particularly anxious. We didn't know what it would mean. We didn't know if our players would want to do it. We didn't know what the logistics were, but the vote passed, and NBA players were eligible for the Olympics.
Now the issue wasn't about whether American pros could play, but whether the best players wanted to play.
The one guy that, that we were a little concerned about was probably Michael.
The thought back then was Michael Jordan plays 36 holes of golf 90 days during the summer. What the hell is he going to be doing playing basketball?
I was hoping they would not ask me to participate. And I was trying to figure out a way graciously that I could decline.
Jeez.
I'd done the Olympic thing before, and when Rod Thorne called me and asked me, I wasn't gung-ho about it.
My appeal to him was, you're the top player in the world. This is bigger than the NBA Finals, and we need you. His thing, well, who else is playing? I mean, are all the good players going to play? I'm not going to play by myself.
So Michael Jordan waited to hear more, and Rod Thorne made his next call.
It was a no-brainer for me. I was in from day one. And I figured if I jumped in first and said I wanted to play, that would get guys to want to participate as well.
I think Magic wasn't on that team. I don't think it would have been as spectacular as it was. And to finish out our careers, that was important for both of us.
Fire.
Once you get guys like Magic and Larry committing to the team, then all of a sudden it becomes something very, very special. Representing the USA is already a tremendous honor, but to know that you're going to be on a dream team is a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Magic, Bird, and David Robinson weren't alone in their pride.
They called them the big guns. We're the Navy SEALs that we had to go over there and kick butts and take names.
With those stars and the Utah Jazz tandem of John Stockton and Karl Malone, the dream team was starting to take shape.
It don't matter if you call me last. I got the call.
I didn't feel like that I deserved to be called, but I truly wasn't going to tell them that.
What you mean, Pippen?
I was like, yeah, I'm in. I didn't even think to say who was on the team. I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
Bro, these dogs in the backyard is going absolutely crazy. I hope y'all cannot hear it, man. I really do hope y'all can hear that shit.
Yes.
Charles Barkley's ability was never in question, but his attitude was.
God want us to win the world championship. I don't know if I go that much off. No, I talked to him the other night.
This man Barkley
in Philadelphia. It doesn't matter what I say. So from this day forward, I'm gonna say what the hell I want to say, and some people gonna like it, and some people gonna dislike it.
But after a series of incidents on and off the court, the least of the committee's concerns were about what Barkley would say.
I was asked to talk to him. He was so honored that we would even think about asking him. He convinced me that you won't have any problems with me.
Now, with the team nearly complete, Rod Thorne had enough talent secured to go back to where he started.
Representing my country was a big thing, but I think, the biggest motivation for me was now I get to spend time with some of the guys I compete against all the time.
Portland's Clyde Drexler rounded out the list of NBA players, while the final spot on the roster was reserved for an amateur, Duke's Christian Laettner, coming off back-to-back NCAA titles.
Damn, back-to-back?
Pass to Laettner. Puts it up.
Yes!
Y'all gonna call me a noob, but that's why we doing our homework. But who's this guy? I actually genuinely feel like I've never heard of this man before. Who is he? And how was his NBA career if he even made it to the league?
The other Olympic year, Laettner might have been the team's biggest star. But on this team, he was fine with being the last guy on the bench.
I tell people this all the time, and it may shock them, but my most enjoyable year was my freshman year because they don't expect nothing from you except carry the luggage, do the laundry, and get our donuts. And that's easy. The harder thing is to be the leader.
By May of 1991, 2 months before the Olympics, the team was set. 1 college kid and 11 future Hall of Famers. The man charged with putting it all together was the unflappable Chuck Daly.
Okay, all set?
I'm set.
Chuck looked the part. He was the guy that looked like he owned the arena, but he would also push the broom.
His hair was beautiful. His suits were immaculate. He wanted to win, but he wanted to look good.
As the head coach of the Detroit Pistons, Daly did both, winning back-to-back championships in 1989 and 90.
The Pistons are winners and still.
I wonder how you felt about MJ though, knowing that MJ didn't want. I don't like, bro. They still talk about this to this day. Was it MJ that didn't want Isaiah Thomas there, or was it Magic that didn't? Because we just found out in the documentary with Larry and Magic that Isaiah was talking nasty about Magic. You know what I'm saying? Once his business got put out there, like he was talking crazy. So,
Champions of the world.
The Pistons were nicknamed the Bad Boys for their aggressive and some said dirty style of play, never more evident than in their memorable playoff battles with Michael Jordan's Bulls.
Michael on the move against Vinnie Johnson to the hoop. He is necktied. Oh. Michael Jordan goes down hard.
Detroit and Chicago had no love for each other.
So when Daly was named the Dream Team coach, many wondered how he'd handle working with the Bulls' biggest star.
I was being asked to wrestle with some demons and some issues.
But the coach was well acquainted with the task of managing personalities.
He coached the bad boys. And if you can coach those, you can coach anybody.
Facts.
One player Daly wouldn't be coaching in the Olympics, however, was his own star in Detroit.
Wait, is he the dude that Isaiah Thomas choked in that one video? Because y'all know Isaiah Thomas choked his coach out. Was it him, though? Or was it somebody else? I'll never forget that. That shit was crazy. Isaiah, you crazy as hell for that one. I ain't gonna lie.
One player Daly wouldn't be coaching in the Olympics, however, was his own star in Detroit. Point guard Isaiah Thomas, who controversially had been left off the team's roster.
No matter how much people try to say now, it was no big a deal. It was a big deal.
I talked to Isaiah at the beginning of the year about the aspect he wasn't on the team, and he was not comfortable with it. I'm sure he is very hurt. He's a very deserving player, but he was not selected.
Thomas was well on his way to a Hall of Fame career, but was also seen by many as the biggest cultivator of the bad boys image in Detroit.
And now Isaiah Thomas and Cartwright swinging.
Isaiah
his little ass was a troublemaker.
He was the guy who yap at his teammates and say, knock him on the ass, do whatever you got to do.
Beautiful backdoor pass from Pippen, and he is walloped.
Now, that was really dirty, though. That was really dirty.
I despised the way that he played the game.
Like, bro.
Did you want him on the Dream Team?
No, I did not want him on the team.
Did Michael? Did you want him on the team?
Fuck no.
Well, I can't speak for Michael, but I don't think he wanted him on the team.
Now, there has been speculation that your icy relationship with Isaiah Thomas is the reason that he was not selected. Well, what is your reaction to that?
That was one of the stipulations put to me prior to me even committing, that Isaiah wasn't a part of the team. I was getting strong innuendos that it wasn't just, it was coming from higher places that didn't want Isaiah Thomas on the team.
Certainly things are being pointed at me because of our relationship and of course about the way.
I mean, that's the thing. You can either put it on MJ or you can put it on Magic. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's not even just them two. Like, other players on the team just was not fucking with Isaiah Thomas. Other players, we just heard Pippen. You know what I mean? Like, it's no different right now if there was like a team, like if there was a player in today's game that like everybody just like Dylan Brooks. Everybody despises Dylan Brooks right now. If you watch NBA today, you know who Dylan Brooks is. Everybody hates that, bro. He would never make no team where it's like a collective group. Nobody would pick him, even if that nigga was nasty. If he was really good, nobody's picking him, bro. Nobody want to play with him. Nobody want to play with that man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know one friend he has. I don't know one friend Dylan Brooks had. And there's no hate to Dylan Brooks, but I actually don't care for him. He's a good defender. He's dirty, but he's a good defender. You know what I mean? But nobody liked that man, bro. Like,
the end of the game between Detroit and Chicago ended.
We were picking the group just after the Pistons had been eliminated by the Bulls, and it was very bad timing for Isaiah. Everybody had fresh in their mind the picture of Isaiah walking off the court.
Pistons wasting no time in getting out of here. They left the bench.
And then you ducking your head, bro. You like can't respect him, bro.
When the Pistons walked off the court before the final bell, I think it left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths.
No sportsmanship.
All right, no Isaiah Thomas.
No Isaiah Thomas questions.
Cool.
Jordan and the team were done answering questions about Isaiah. But with training camp approaching, a bigger question would need to be answered.
Hello, how you doing?
How would the 12 stars that were selected play together?
Welcome.
Training camp began on June 22nd, 1992, in La Jolla, California. And when the gym doors opened, no one was quite sure what to expect, especially the players themselves.
It's a lot of egos in one gym and on one team. Everybody wanted their form to shine and showcase why they were a part of this team.
With all these stars on the team, if it comes down to the last shot, who's gonna take the shot?
Me. Everybody in the world has an ego. The only difference between us, we have a reason to have an ego.
Every one of us felt like we was
Everybody.
And when practice started that first day, every player seemed to be trying to prove just how great they were.
Damn!
It was a very competitive practice. And I'm thinking, aren't we all on the same team?
Patrick go, I don't want to play with David, I want to play against him. Then you hear Michael say, I don't want to be on Magic's team, I want to play against him.
Every evaluation of Michael Jordan at that time was, he's good, but he's never Magic Johnson. In my competitive nature, I want to use every little bit that I could gather so that I can gain an advantage.
Nah, MJ, you should have been saying that about Larry. No kizzy. Didn't you beat Magic in the finals? You should have been saying that about Larry, gang. I'm just being honest, bro. You ain't never beat Brody. When it mattered the most, you ain't never beat Brody. You should have been saying that about motherfucking Larry. Just being honest.
He's the only guy I would even compare to myself at the power forward position. So I want to prove that I was the best power forward in the world.
Charles. Yeah, he's a great talent. Do I think he's better than me? Hell no. So let's do this. By the time this over with,
they ain't even call that.
You're gonna be thinking I'm damn good too.
The first practice, Barkley drives baseline and Karl Malone jumps up like this. Barkley just dunked on him so hard.
Dang!
It was just an unbelievable play. I felt like, man, I cannot believe that I'm part of this practice.
Was Larry not practicing because of his back? Probably.
Days later, the team had a chance to acclimate themselves to playing on the same side. Chuck Daly had scheduled a scrimmage against a select group of college players, a group thrilled to be facing off against their idols.
I found out today I might be picking up Magic a little bit full court, so, things are just happening for me that really makes me happy.
My whole thought process was don't embarrass yourself, and that was like the theme for me, like just hang in there.
A lot of those people that I've looked up to,
shit!
a lot of those people take confidence, and I think it's going to be a good matchup. There's no advantage on either side.
For the college players, it was a chance to see how they'd match up against the world's best. For Coach Daly, it was an opportunity to get his stars to grow into a single unit.
I think we're somewhere between the mentality of an all-star game and trying to come together as a team. So we've got to continually work on this.
Daly had been hired for his ability to manage personalities and egos. And when the scrimmage began, it became apparent that his players had left one of their biggest weapons, those egos, somewhere else.
Turnover.
The non-fan would think, well, they're going to go in there and they're each going to want their own ball, and Jordan's going to be hogging the ball, and Magic's going to be dribbling all over the place. Point of fact, it was the exact opposite. They overpassed.
It was like, I don't want to start it off. You do it. And before you realize it, the team was beating us by 10.
We didn't know how to play with each other. We didn't want to step on anybody's toes or hurt any egos. And so these young kids, they were killing us.
We were not into it, and we paid for it.
Chris Webber was a man. I thought, boy, that's the guy's coming this league, I could get out of here.
Bobby was dominant.
I did have some success penetrating and collapsing the defense. Our energy, our excitement to play, all those things played in our favor.
Bobby Hurley didn't play 2 seasons in the NBA.
That's a great pass.
It did expose the one weakness they could have had, which is defending against quick guards.
They were playing great. Then I noticed that Michael Jordan is not playing.
I'm saying something. Chuck, then he said, we're all right. Yeah, we're all right.
Daly watched as his players failed to make up the deficit.
Nah, his cool ass with his
we're all right.
Hold on.
Daly.
His cool ass. Brody always had his collar up. Let you know, bro. Hey, it's only one of me. Only one of me doing this. Nah, he was cool as shit.
He watched as his players failed to make up the deficit. And in their first taste of outside competition, the Dream Team lost. A story their coach didn't want the press to get their hands on.
I remember Chuck saying, as soon as the game ended and we were getting ready to let media in, it was erase the scoreboard.
media comes in, scores, if not hundreds. They can sense something. You can feel the tension, or you feel something in the air.
Well, some of these college players we've just got through playing against probably should be on this team, but they'll get their chance.
The teams posed for a picture together, both not sure what to make of what had just happened. But the man in charge may have had the answer.
He threw the game. Chuck threw the game. If you look how much Jordan played and how he subbed guys in, not picking up, not making any adjustments, he knew what he was doing.
Bro is pretty much what Steve Kerr is now. We just watched Steve Kerr in the last Olympics. Steve Kerr got all his tendencies from Brody, I ain't gonna lie.
It was legit. It felt tremendous, what we were doing that day. They couldn't stop it.
There are kids who believe in Santa Claus too, and the Easter Bunny, and now that they've grown up, I hate to burst their bubble, but it was a game thrown. Not many people would have done it, and he did it.
It was gratifying to Chuck for us to get our butts beat like that, because now we had to listen to him.
From then on, he had a way of just saying, you could lose.
After fixing
but you knew what he was doing.
His hair, his speech was, anybody can get beat, so you gotta be ready to play. And I think that's the only speech he ever gave us.
The message got across. I mean, Chuck couldn't have been happier, I'm sure.
It was brilliant on Chuck's part to be able to orchestrate that and play along like he didn't.
Why didn't he tell you guys?
We probably would have screwed it up.
The next day, training camp ended with a rematch against the college kids. And once play started, everything made sense again.
The tables were turned drastically. We showed them
okay, Magic.
Why we are who we are. We pretty much beat them by 100.
They couldn't score. And by the way, Jordan played a lot more that next scrimmage.
Before the Dream Team could play in the 1992 Olympics, they had to qualify. The place to do that was Portland, Oregon, and the Tournament of the Americas. It would be the public's first chance to see the NBA stars together in a game, especially Jordan, Bird, and Magic.
Iconic photo.
Daly had asked all three to be team captains, but Jordan had turned him down.
I knew how much it meant to both of those guys because they never had the opportunity to play on the Olympics. So I'd say, you know what, Chuck, don't worry about me. Let these old dogs do it.
Magic and Bird weren't just the team's oldest players.
That's real.
They were also the most revered. They had entered the league together in 1979, embarking on a rivalry that had redefined the NBA. Yeah. And along the way, their personal admiration for one another had grown.
Magic's just a great basketball player. He's the best I've ever seen, Unbelievable.
It's so crazy that was 1987 and this at the time of this documentary it was 1992. That's not even that many years away from each other, bro. That's crazy. Right. So much changes fast.
In 1992, they'd be getting the chance to share the ball. But the opportunity would be coming at the end of their careers. Bird had given his soul to the game. Mm-hmm. But after so many years, his body was betraying him.
Facts.
Had back problems. It just get to the point where you just couldn't play. I mean, you couldn't think, couldn't move, couldn't run. If you can't feel your feet, it's hard to run.
Larry was on the fence because of his back, so I said, man, LB, you gotta play, man. You gotta play. This is our last chance to be together.
Magic would be able to convince his old friend to play. But at the start of the 1991-92 NBA season, he was forced to retire after learning he had the HIV virus. Doctors would eventually clear him to play in the Olympics, though that didn't stop fears from swirling.
There's a lot of players that really didn't want him to play, didn't want to play with him or against him because nobody knew what disease meant. You know, they say you get a little blood on you, you got HIV, or you breathe on you, you know. I never bought any of that, you know.
That's
real. Just keep going. And that's what Irvin decided to do, just keep pushing, keep going.
Man, you gotta respect Larry, bro. Just their friendship.
Magic had made a cameo in the 1992 All-Star Game
We got 5
and
minutes
had
left.
focused his attention on the Olympics, hoping for an encore of a lifetime alongside his old rival.
By the way, yo, I said this was going to be a 3-part series. It is not. It's going to be a 2-part series. My part 2 of this is just going to be longer. You know what I mean? It's only an hour and 8 minutes.
It was something I thought needed to happen for both of us.
Their debut would take place at Portland's Rose Garden, with their team needing to medal in the Tournament of the Americas to qualify for the Olympics. That seemed like a foregone conclusion to just about everyone, including their first opponents, who were completely in awe before the game even started.
The Cuban team spontaneously drops to its knees as if 12 popes had come.
My bad, y'all. I'm about to order myself some food real quick. I'll be right back. All right, y'all. We back.
By on Easter Sunday. At that point, the idea that this is merely a basketball game has been ripped asunder.
Wait, what happened?
On Easter Sunday. At that point, the idea that this is merely a basketball game has been ripped asunder.
It was a surreal feeling. She's like, dude, we're here to kick y'all behind.
I was about to say, USA team
And
don't even look happy.
They want to take pictures with you.
Then the
They
game
locked
begins.
in.
Magic and Larry come out together, 2 guys that had saved the league. They wouldn't even be playing this game without those 2. And Magic passed the ball, Larry makes the first basket.
Just like that.
I mean, you know, it just didn't get any better than that.
The U.S. was off and running, and the result was a thing of beauty.
Johnson leading the break.
Vintage Magic.
No one seemed more excited to be sharing the court than the co-captains.
Bird for 3.
Opening night was a smashing success, with the outcome never in doubt. And
I know they
when
enjoyed playing
fans
together.
in Portland decided they wanted a curtain call from a 3-time MVP.
The crowd start cheering, Larry, Larry, Larry.
Crowd reacts to the entrance of Larry Bird. A standing ovation.
And as he'd done so many other times in his career, Larry Bird rose to the occasion.
Jordan with the
Shout out to Jordan for the pass too, though.
You just knew that Larry Bird was not going to miss that shot.
It was a virtually flawless performance. The final margin of victory was 77 points. And Magic and Bird had led the way.
They beat them by 77? Yo. Belt to ass. My gosh.
For Magic in particular, after a year out of the game, the victory had a special kind of meaning.
For sure.
Living with HIV, never even thinking that I would ever have a chance to play basketball again, and then basketball for the United States. It was therapy for me, and I needed that in the worst way.
And then there was the matter of making sure Michael Jordan knew he was back as well.
Yeah, you hear what the captain said? The captain said, sit down, or this boat is going to sink. That's right, have a seat, because you're going to fall, and then that's going to happen. That's the seniority right there. I know it.
With Magic and Michael, there was that little extra something there, you know, and something kind of to prove to each other.
I took it upon myself to always shoot.
This is like Ant and KD in the Olympics, bro. Like
with Michael. Okay, MJ, free throws today. Who was the first one to 50? Or we had little games. Who was the better shooter?
You know what you got to do. Know what you got to do.
Missing that, MJ?
He didn't want to relinquish that control of the 80s, in a sense, even though we were going into the 90s.
Don't touch the phone. One hand, don't touch it. Don't touch it.
You know, he just come off missing a whole year. So it was who can win, who's going to have the bragging rights by the end of this trip.
You can't get too close to Michael. It's a foul. You haven't committed a foul in almost a year and a half.
They was talking so much ish.
Michael's always tried to let people know that he's the top dog in whatever. That's just his competitive mode.
I'm the young guy with the elder statesman.
This is literally Ant, bro.
They can't stand in one spot too long.
He's a young puppy. I'm the big dog here. Whatever I say goes.
While the winner of Magic and Michael's Can You Top This challenge remained in doubt, when it came to facing the competition in the Tournament of the Americas, the team stood united.
Hey, man, this is where we going to stop, man. We at 30-14, man. This is where we going to stop. Hey, so far, this is actually a very great documentary. I've never seen this day in my life, y'all. I've never seen this documentary. I always knew there was probably a documentary out there, like it had to be, because they're probably on. No, they already made one. They already made one for the what is the team this year called? What was the team this year called, or last year? The Avengers? Like, I don't even think they have a team name, but yeah, bro, this documentary is fire. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm super excited to finish this documentary. I will say the last part 2, will probably be out by Sunday, so stay tuned for that, y'all. I love y'all. I'll see y'all in the next one, man. I'm out this mug.